Hey guys, Bagley Pro Drew Benton here. I have with me my 5 most favorite Bagley crankbaits, and I want to explain, what situations and when I might throw them. Here's the B1. It's a square bill. It's probably Bagley's most famous crankbait because it actually has a classic win already. Anytime the water is super dirty, they're moving up really shallow, like you see behind me, and the fish are 3 foot or less, and I want a wide wobble hunting action, this is the bait I choose. It hunts really well. It doesn't stay hung up because it's a balsa, and it just gets a lot of bites when those fish are 3 foot or less. When the bite's tough, and I mean, extremely tough, the water may be cold, it may be the fall, and you're really struggling to get bites, I choose the Sunny Bee, particularly the deeper diver version. It gets about 5 to 6 feet on 10-pound line, and you'll notice it's flat. It's got a real tight action. It's more of a finesse crankbait, if you will, and it excels when the bite's tough. It's the bait that I have tied on anytime I'm in a tough event or we're faced with tough conditions. When it's cold and those fish, early spring, when those fish are first moving up shallow, the water temperature's still in the low 50s, maybe even the high 40s, I'll throw a flat side, and this is the B flat, B2 from Bagley. I tend to throw a crawfish pattern. I'll transition to shad pattern, later in the spring, but the red craw is hard to beat. Again, that flat profile is real tight. This one will get, 4, maybe 5 feet on light line. It stays a little bit shallower than the Sunny Bee, and I'll often have these working in tandem. Whenever I get to shallower banks, I'll throw this one, and on deeper banks, I'll throw the Sunny Bee. Later on in the year, I'll transition to the Pro Sunny Bee, which is a little bit bigger version, same body shape as the first Sunny Bee I mentioned, but it's a whole lot easier to cast, a little bit heavier. It's a square bill, and it'll get to about 6 foot. Anytime I'm fishing a 45-degree bank and I want a square bill that I can really 4x4 through cover and not get hung up, this is the bait I choose. These are my 2 most favorite colors. You got a shad pattern and a brown and orange craw pattern. This is, from spring, early spring through the spawn, and then after the spawn. It's typically my 2 go-tos there. And anytime I'm fishing deeper than that, I like the B1 and B2 diving version that Bagley makes, and these really excel in timber or brush piles. When I'm fishing brush, say it comes up to 6 to 8 foot, I'll throw the B1, and if I'm fishing deeper piles, I'll throw the B2. And the reason for that is you don't want this plug to hit the bottom. You want it to get just deep enough that it's maintaining contact with the top of that brush, and it doesn't stay hung up as much. And the good thing about this balsa, when it does get hung up, you can normally pop it free, and you'll get a lot of bites that way as well. You can tell by the teeth marks on these 2 that they've been abused quite a bit and been munched on. So these are my 5 most favorite baits. They put a lot of fish in my boat. Be sure to check them out and add them to your arsenal, and they'll put more fish in your boat this year.